Hello, Vibers. Today we are doing a super special and I hope fun as well as helpful pick a card reading about how you can bring out your inner brat. Now, listen, before those of you who think that tarot is only supposed to be spiritual or healing, turn away. Let me tell you something. This is a shadow work reading, okay? It's about our embracing our shadow, which is one of my favorite topics to read on. I am so happy that you're here. If you happen to be new here, my name is Shon. And I think you're in for a treat today. Before we get started, I just want to let you know I just introduced gift cards to the Etsy shop. So if you've been wanting a personal reading and people are asking you, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas? The perfect answer is I want a gift card to the Not So Average Dreamer Etsy shop so I can get a personal reading from Shon. Actually, I'm going to create them for the website too. I just haven't done it at the time of this recording, but I definitely will before Christmas hits. All right, with all of that being said, let's talk about your piles. For each of the piles, I have assigned a quote, a crystal, and a flower. So you can use either of those three or the number 1, the number 2, or the number 3 as your selector to decide where you feel your reading for today might be. Now, it's also possible that there may be messages for you in more than one reading. So if you feel drawn to more than one pile, don't hesitate to listen to as many as you want. You can even listen to the entire video if you'd like. If you feel a sense of connection from the messages in this reading and would like a deeper dive into your specific situation, I offer this topic as a personal reading on my Etsy shop and on my website, shonwilson.com. So first we have pile 1, pile 2, and last but not least, we have pile 3. Okay, Vibers, I am going to be silent for a while so that you can contemplate and select the reading you feel most drawn to. Once you've made your choice, the timestamps for each are in the description box below, or if I've done my job correctly, you should see the video itself separated out for each reading, and you can just choose or go right to the reading by hitting the appropriate part of the video. I hope you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I will see you guys there. Hi, group 1, welcome to your reading. So for all of these readings today, we are going to be using 3 oracle decks and a tarot deck. For the oracle decks, we have the Wild Muse Oracle by Vanessa Simoena, as well as the Starlight cards by Jessica. I'm assuming it's pronounced Lee, even though there's only one E, so it's L-E. In French it would be Le, Jessica Le. Or probably not as that, but anyway. And the Cosmic Cat Wisdom cards, which some of you may remember from our 30 Days of Cat Spirit Animal Wisdom. If you like short, succinct, and fun collective readings, those are there for you in the playlist that I will link down below. Anywho, so it's so funny too because this looks like my boy. He kind of looks like Casper. Except Casper was never that happy. He was a cat with attitude. So you guys, we are going to pull from each one of these oracle decks as well as your tarot deck to get a sense of your inner brat and how you can bring it out with confidence and even joy, because it is part of you, just like those which we deem positive qualities are part of you. I am certain that we need to embrace all of ourselves, because even those characteristics or personality types that people sometimes want to shun, there is a benefit to us when we allow ourselves to tap into those energies and use them for good. So let's find out who your inner brat is, and then we're going to find out how you and that inner brat can be of service both to others and yourself. All right, so we have the day you plant the seed. Interesting. Okay, and we have, oh, I already have a hit on that day you plant the seed. Oh, wow, okay. We have trust, the light in you cannot be dimmed. And we have, these are hard to shuffle, they're so big. Innocence, look through fresh eyes. I gotta say, these do not feel very bratty to me. So your inner brat is probably a little passive aggressive. Does that ring true for you? Have you been told that before? Have you suspected it of yourself? I'm getting the sense that those of you who chose this group may have a tendency towards feeling entitled or impatient, wanting what you want, but wanting it now. And however, also simultaneously having the feeling that that is a wrong way for you to be. So with us having the day you plant the seed, that's part of where I'm getting this energy around, you get an idea and you expect it to blossom right away, or you start something and you want to see some evidence that you're on the right track right away. You want to get some results ASAP. You may be someone who has tried to start certain endeavors, maybe creative endeavors, or maybe even a business of your own, and gave up, shall we say, earlier than you probably should have, because you did not see yourself getting what you wanted when you wanted it. So this idea about feeling like you need to hide that aspect of yourself that does want to see results, that possibly wants to see instant results, you can change your perspective on that. You don't have to hide that aspect of you anymore by pretending to be more patient than you really are, than pretending to be more humble than you really feel. For some of you, I'm getting that you mask your arrogance with false humility. There is a very, very well-loved actress in Hollywood that everybody just acts like she is the epitome of what it means to be a good actor. I'm not going to call her by name here, not because I think that she watches my tarot content, but because I feel like, this is my opinion of her, and what I'm about to say is my opinion of her, and you may feel differently, but I used to be a huge fan of hers until I saw her in a couple of interviews, and what I picked up on immediately and saw over and over again was false humility. This woman knows she's as great as everybody says that she is. Cannot take away from her greatness as an actor. Her talent is clearly there. But the issue that I found myself having with her after seeing those interviews was she was clearly playing at being humble, playing at not knowing how great she is. And it's ironic that those were the only times that I found her acting not believable. When she acts in a film, I go on that ride with her. But when she's pretending to be somebody she's not, it rings false. And this is the truth with you. You may try to hide, this is the same for you. This is the same for you. You may try to hide the aspect of your personality that you may deem to be, as we're calling it here today, your inner brat, that you may deem to be unacceptable societally, or to society, unacceptable in society, unacceptable to others. But the reality is the light in you can't be dimmed. And even those character traits, which we don't necessarily ascribe to being of the light, they still shine within us. They are still seen, and people notice. You cannot hide who you really are, no matter how great an actress or actor you might be. Let me see if I can get you some more guidance or information around that. So definitely, you guys, just know this part of you that wants more or wants it now or wants it faster, better. You know, I'm definitely getting the impatience and entitlement part. I want it now, I expect to get it. There is a place for you to use that kind of energy. There is a way for you to use that kind of energy in a functional way in your life. There's a way for you to use that kind of energy functionally in your life, okay? It does not have to be something that you hide or something that turns other people off or derails you. So we have the Two of Coins. We have the Queen of Swords. We have the Sun. Interesting. I was silent for a second there because I got caught up in trying to decipher the Roman numeral, and I don't have to because I can read the words that are here in English. Durr. And you know, I think I forgot to say this at the top of your reading, but you guys, you're getting your messages. The tarot deck that we're using for you is the Disney Villains Tarot, in case you haven't picked up on that already. And then we have the Ace of Wands. Yeah, definitely owning the fact that you are a person of power. You are inherently powerful. You are born to be a person of power. And when you feel the need to subdue that instinct of yours to have expectations, to be demanding, to sometimes be impatient, when you try to push that down or dampen that, you are not living out your potential. You are, again, like I said a second ago, you're a person of power, which means you are meant to be a leader. Okay, you are capable of many things, and everything you do has the potential of being successful. You are extraordinarily smart. You are, again, full of so much energy. You've got the kind of energy that can power, you know, ideas, endeavors, other people. And you are naturally a very good manifester. So own this part of you. Don't hide it anymore. Don't pretend to be less than you are or to want less than you want, because those things are what make you act passive aggressively. Everybody goes to Steve Jobs as the example of someone who was a challenging personality to deal with, but he got shit done. And what he did changed the world for all of us, even those of us who stick with our Samsungs and aren't, that looks weird what I'm doing there, but I'm pointing at my phone. Stick with our Samsungs and are not Apple users. I had an Apple for a while. Sorry, not Apple. I had an iPhone for a while. It died within 6 months. Sorry, that can't be right because it wasn't under warranty anymore. So it had to be just over a year. And y'all, that pissed me off because that phone was expensive. And I had bought it on a payment plan, so I was still having to pay for it, even though I couldn't use it anymore. So anyway, own your inner brat. Own your inner Steve Jobs. You are meant to do something with it. You are meant to be magnificent with it. Now, it may not be world changing like what he did, but it can just be life changing for you, or change things within your family or in the place where you work. But you are not serving anybody, let alone yourself, by playing small and pretending that you don't have expectations and have the right to see those expectations fulfilled. Okay, group one, this is what I have for you today. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. Oh, this looks like Casper too. Well, not really, but you know, I'm probably just going to see him everywhere for a while. And he was this kind of cat. And when I met him, he did have the biggest blue eyes. Anyway, guys, take care, and I'll see you next time. Hi, group 2. Welcome to your reading. So today we are taking a look at how you can bring out your inner brat. And by that, I mean embrace a shadow aspect of your personality in a way that it can help you through life, instead of you trying to act like it doesn't exist or tamper it down or anything like that. How can you take this aspect of yourself that may traditionally not be thought of as a good quality and turn it into an asset for yourself as well as for the people around you. So we're going to be using 4 decks today. Okay, we're choosing an oracle card. What the heck is an oracle card? Though that does sound like a very interesting name. You know how some people get like made up names, and someone's going to say, well, all names are made up, Shon. Yes, they are. But some are more recognizable to people than others. And oracle sounds like one of those. Okay, I'm just going to get back to your reading now. So, so you guys, the 3 oracle cards that we're going to be, 3 oracle decks that we're going to be choosing your cards from are the Wild Muse Oracle by Vanessa Simoena, the Starlight cards by Jessica Le, and the Cosmic Cat Wisdom cards by Randy Crutcher and Barb Hour? That can't be right. Anyway, whatever her name is. And then we're also going to pull from the tarot for you. And the tarot deck that we're using for today's reading is the Disney Villains Tarot. So why don't we get started pulling your cards and see what's up with your inner brat. Let's find out who exactly this brat is. So from Vanessa's deck. Oh, there we go. Oh, you guys actually got 2. Y'all got a lot of brattiness. Look at that. You got disconnect. Interesting. And you got beauty sleep. Yeah, I feel something happening about there. And from the Starlight cards, let's see. You guys, oh, yes. You got self-care. Spoil yourself in the moonlight. Are you seeing a thread here? Those of you who are viewers of my content and also tarot readers, you are probably already picking up on that, which I think is quite clear. But we're going to go ahead and get this. Oh, gosh, nope, not that. Sorry, guys. We're going to go ahead and get one more card for you. And no, I'm not drunk. In case you're new here and you're wondering, no, this is me all the time. Okay, manifest from thought to form. So this is the second group that I am doing this set of messages for today. And both you and group 1 got a kitty that looks like my boy Casper. This one has his attitude, for sure. Okay, so you guys, right away, what I'm getting as your inner brat, it's selfishness. It is selfishness. I'm getting that several of you that chose this pile today don't own up to your selfishness, not necessarily out of shame, but because you might not even recognize that it's there. All right. So some of us, hence shadow, right? I guess that was kind of like a given, huh? Anyway, so yeah. I'm getting that for some of you guys too, that there is a direct connection to how you were raised religiously that keeps you from really being able to notice this aspect of yourself. Okay? Or own up to it. For instance, you might be one of those people that other people tell you you're selfish, but you argue them down that you are not. Other people will tell you that you've done things that hurt them, and you insist that you had the best of intentions. And there is a sense of, some of this comes from, I'm getting, not having been well cared for in your youth. And there's oftentimes, not even oftentimes, there are 2 ways in which we can go when that is our history, okay? We either become people who overgive to others a lot of times, or we become people who undergive. And I'm getting that several of you who chose this deck might deep down inside want to be an undergiver. I'm not getting that you are, but I'm getting that you want to be. I'm getting that. So it's not so much that you're trying to get a sense of healthy self-interest or healthy selfishness, which we are now starting to talk about. But there is this secret part of you that just wants to go F it all. Just, I don't need any of this. I don't need these people. I don't want to deal with this. I don't have to do this. And really just cuddle and care for the self. a part of you that just wants it to be about what you want and need, and that you could walk away from any and everything at the drop of a dime if you allowed yourself to. That's the inner brat. Okay. This idea of, I think it, I want to do it now, without having to consider possible consequences to others or others' needs, or having to, look out for anybody else. Really just having it be all about you, and finding times to disconnect clearly and just be in your own little bubble, just be in your own little world. But not just, again, from, oh, I'm going to go over here and do some self-care, but from a place of F you. I'm getting that there's a little bit of wanting to be able to tell people to buzz off in you guys. All right, let's pull from your tarot deck and see, can we give group 2 more details and more clarity around this aspect? Again, we have 2. So we have the Lovers, but in reverse. Then I say it? It's like y'all don't want to be loving. You may operate constantly from a place of love. Maybe because of extreme empathy, maybe because of having heard teachings that say love is the highest vibration. And so because you try so hard to stay in that energy, there is a little bit of resentment and a piece of you that's building up to not want to honor that or have to live that way. There's a sense of being imprisoned, I'm getting. Imprisoned, and hence wanting to become much more solitary, with the right to say to people, buzz off. There's something there. And see, we have Ace of Swords here too. And, I just mentioned a second ago about having learned the idea that love is the highest vibration. And so therefore, for us to be the most effective in the world, for us to manifest the things that we want, for us to have a good life, that we have to stay in the energy of love. I'm going to give you a news flash. You ready for this? Nobody can do that. Nobody can 100% stay in the energy of love at all times. And if you have been forcing yourself to do that, that is where that resentment is coming from. That is where that desire to close off and not participate, not be a part of things, not include others is coming from. Because you're not living in love in a balanced way. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. Oh, there we go. All right, we have the 3 of coins, and it's not quite in reverse. But again, 3 of coins is typically about collaboration or working with others, teamwork, right? And this is you not quite wanting to do that anymore. So if you have been forcing yourself, there are some situations where we find ourselves unable to disconnect from our networks or our teams. For instance, if you work for other people or with other people as opposed to working at home alone by yourself like I do, you might have to continue to do that. But if you don't have that as your situation, and it turns out that working with others is optional for you, again, like my situation with the collabs, that's optional. I just happen to really love collaborating with people. And I'm getting the sense that some of you may have at one point loved doing it, but now it's turned out to be draining. And it's because of not honoring that which is authentic to or unique to you enough when you are working with others. In some situations, it's that you're in a work environment where you have to work with people that it's just not a harmonious, I almost said harmonic, and that would only apply if y'all were singing together, harmonious work environment. And that lack of harmony has also tilted your desire to want to work with others. So if you have the ability to just take a pause from having to collaborate with other people or work with other people, you're actually being guided to go ahead and do that. Okay. And, if it's a situation where you have to continue to do it while you're in the work environment, that you can't disconnect from these other people, that you can't just focus on your wants, your needs, your care, your desires, your ideas at the workplace, in the work. If you have to collaborate, find ways or create something, come up with something, or find a hobby or activity that can be solitary for you. Because what's happening here is there's a lack of balance. And you need to embrace this desire you have to be able to tell people to stuff it. Now, hear me out. In some cases, yeah, maybe go ahead and tell them to stuff it, particularly if there are people who are deliberately holding things up or making things hard for you. And if you can tell them to stuff it with no consequence, absolutely do it. But in some cases, we can't say that to someone. So do it in adjusting how much you are present for others. But definitely embrace this need you're having to be selfish. You need to own this selfishness more and label it as selfishness. Okay? Don't try to give it some pretty little label like, oh, this is my self-care. No, you need to own the fact that there is a part of you that is selfish, and that's okay. Okay, group 2, this is what I have for you today. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. Hello, group 3, and welcome to your reading. Today, we are looking at how you need to bring out your inner brat. Yep. That's what I said. We are doing a little bit of shadow work today. And if you have seen any of my shadow work videos before, you know that I believe in embracing all aspects of your personality. I do not feel like it is in anyone's best interest if we act like parts of us don't exist. There are some shadow aspects of us that we may sometimes feel called to heal or to grow out of. But then there are others that I think can be useful to us in lives, as well as useful to the people who are around us when we are embracing ourselves so fully. So we're going to use 3 oracle decks and a tarot deck to get your messages today. The oracle decks that we're using are the Wild Muse Oracle by Vanessa Simoena, the Starlight cards by Jessica Lee. I assume it's Lee, it's spelled L-E, so it could be Le if she's French. So her name would then be Jessica the. Anyway, and the Cosmic Cat Wisdom cards, which some of you probably remember from our 30 Days of Cat Spirit Animal Wisdom that I did. I think it was over the summer. Yeah, I don't think it was early fall. I'm pretty sure it was over the summer. So let's get started. We're going to pull from, oh, I forgot to tell you, and your tarot deck is the Disney Villains Tarot. So we're going to take one card from each of the oracle decks, and then we're going to do your tarot pull for more clarity and details. So we have, oh, you guys actually got 2. There's another group in here that also got 2. So some of y'all are really bratty. There's a lot of brattiness in the collective that watches shon.vibes, which totally makes sense because I'm like such a brat. And if you're attracted to my readings, you probably have some brat in you too. In fact, you know, my guy calls me, he called me Braticus one day. And then I turned it into a song because I loved that name so much. I told him I am Braticus the Brat Lord and I am a Bratosaurus Rex. And then I turned that into a song on the spot. And he's been having to live with that ever since. Okay, so here we go. You guys got from Vanessa's deck, you got There Is Always a Way. I know what y'all are. And you got Multiple Streams. Y'all, I'm already feeling you, group 3. I am feeling you, group 3. I know what y'all are. And then we have the Starlight card. So let's see what comes through for you guys with this deck. Oh, all right. This one really did y'all see that? It really wanted to come out. Radiate. Let your light shine through. And then from our Cosmic Cat Wisdom cards, what have we here? This one seems to want to come out. Entitlement. I mean, this one just right out told you. Check your prima donna at the door. You guys, there might actually be another pile in this video for you. Just putting it out there. If you felt drawn to more than one pile, maybe go visit that pile also. Or you may have come from another pile and will find some confirmation messages in this pile's reading. So we have There Is Always a Way and multiple streams, and they came together. And we got Radiate, Let Your Light Shine Through. And we got Check Your Prima Donna, Entitlement, Check Your Prima Donna. So you guys, the thing that I am first and foremost picking up about you and your brattiness is you don't take no for an answer. Now, there are there are teachings around that phrase, or ways in which that phrase is used, that it sounds like a good thing. But your inner brat may not have been using it in a positive way, or a way that is effective for you yet. Okay. There is a, have you ever been accused of steamrolling situations, or of forcing situations to go your way? So that's what's coming through here. There's a bit of not being aware that sometimes you can override the will of others because your will is so strong. And being strong-willed is not in and of itself a bad thing. And knowing when not to take no for an answer can also be a good thing. But there are times, you guys, when we should take no for an answer. And here's why. None of us is all powerful. Not one of us is all powerful. And there is a balance needed in life for life to be functional. There are also things that are predetermined, or things that are in our best interests, that are being overseen by our, the universe, or if you believe in a supreme deity. And when we push too hard, sometimes we can get out of sync with that which is our best interest. So if you happen to feel at times, or have felt often, as though you are out of sync with life a lot, despite the fact that you feel like a powerful person, it's because there's a little bit of idolization of self that's happening that you might not even be aware of. A little bit of, you may be someone who does a lot of, listens to a lot of self-help stuff, or empowerment stuff, or achieve your goals stuff. And there tends to be a lot of focus in those kinds of teachings around, if you do this, then you'll get that. Or if you stick with it, then you'll get it. There seems to always be a promise of a result, and not just a result, but the result you want. But you may have found you experience often that despite being a person who can be very effective and does have the ability to get things done, there are times when it's just not functional. You get it done, or you create it, and then it does not produce the feeling that you thought would come with it. Or it opens up a whole other set of problems or challenges. It may have even also cost you some relationships. But there's a little bit of, because see, with us having multiple streams and There's Always a Way, there's this energy of where there's a will, there's a way, and not taking into consideration that maybe our will is not the way, meaning it's not the right direction to go in, or meaning that doing it just strictly from our will isn't going to get the results that we're looking for. That there is a need sometimes to rely on powers greater than us. And so, or even powers equal to us, like other people who are in our lives. Just pushing forward all the time with one's own agenda can also be exhausting. Now, the flip side of that, because we are talking about how you can bring out your inner brat more, there are ways for you to make this energy of where there's a will, there's a way work for you. And the first thing that's coming up before I even pull a card is to seek guidance first. This guidance can come from your higher power, or your spirit guides, or your higher self, whatever it is you believe in. or this guidance can come from other people that you know, humans, flesh and blood humans here on the earth that you have access to, who may have already done that which you were thinking about doing. So getting some guidance first is what I'm getting for you, and then adding your ability to achieve through effort to come to help make it go forward or come into fruition. More alignment is needed is what I'm getting. So not to eradicate this, where there's a will, there's a way attitude and tenacity, and perseverance, but to not start there is what I'm getting for you. Okay, so we have King of Wands here. Yeah, forceful in nature. That is you. And there is the way for you to use that is to use this forceful energy you have on the right things, the right endeavors, the right relationships, not the wrong ones. And it's about seeking that guidance first to determine whether or not something is the right direction for you to go. And that guidance, it doesn't have to come from outside of you. It doesn't have to come from another person or spirit guides. It can come from your higher self if you choose to tap into that energy. We also have the 6 of Coins, and we have, which is about balance. So we were talking about, that lack of balance there. Just relying on the self only. Stop doing that. And then we also have the Knight of Swords in reverse. So you guys are like, again, it's very clear. You get an idea, you take action, you go, you push until you try to get it. And for you, it's about having that balance between guidance and the will, collaboration and the will, not just the will. There's oftentimes a debate about whether we have fate that is determining everything for our lives or if we have free will to choose and create the lives we want. And you guys might be those people who tend to want to believe more in free will than fate. And the guidance here seems to be that it is going to be helpful to you and to the people around you if you let yourself believe in both. Think of fate as like the big picture, okay? And you don't even have to call it fate. Just think big picture. If the word fate makes you uncomfortable, don't use that word. But think of the fact that there's like the big picture, and then there's the micro activity underneath that, all right? But don't just, with this Knight of Swords in reverse, come up with an idea and immediately spring into action. And I get that some of y'all do that, and then you are dumbfounded when things don't turn out the way you imagine they would, because you know deep down inside that you are quite powerful and that your will is strong. And the teachings that you have been feeding yourself tend to say that if you are focused and you take steps to achieve the goals and you stick with it and this and this and this, that you would get a result. And then it turns out that you don't. And it's because you were using that will. You are sometimes using that will all on its own. Okay. All right. That is what I have for you today, you guys. Remember to connect in with your higher self as you make decisions of what to do. And then this ability you have to not take no for an answer is going to serve you better, as well as make you just more enjoyable to be around for the other people in your life. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you in I did that wrong. Hold on. This is what I have for you today, you guys. Thank you all so much for being here, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. There it is.